What's up, y'all, and welcome to another video. I apologize for the not so brief break that I have taken from this channel. I haven't really been enjoying opening. I haven't done much opening, and when I do, I just kind of do it for fun off camera. So really, most of this channel will, from here on out, be focused on PSA submissions. I do submit fairly regularly, so you can expect 1 to 2 videos a month when it comes to that. And, you know, if I feel something happened in the Pokemon hobby that I kind of want to talk about, I may do some videos on that as well. It's really just depending on time, mostly, when it comes to that. So, you know, we'll see. But I will do one final hunt for the white whale Lugia series. I'm going to do it as a 4-part series. So you'll see that on the channel as well. But after that, I don't really know how much opening there will be on this channel. Probably here and there, but anyways, let's get started on my next PSA submission. So this one's going to be a bigger one than the last 2 that I have done. This will be a, I think 20 or 21 card submission. I can't remember, but it will at least be 20 to meet the minimum for bulk grading. PSA has opened their $15 bulk grading tier, and we'll be submitting some cards via that tier because I think that is a good deal. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'll leave them here. So you'll get a little bit of a preview of the next card. But for the first card, we've got a Jungle Snorlax. The first 3, if they're in order, I can't remember, or I'm actually submitting for a friend. This card's pretty clean. We've got a little bit of silvering on the front and a little bit of whitening on the front. Or on the back, we've got a white corner there, a little nick. And that's about it. It's a pretty clean card. I think there is some hollow scratching on it as well. I pre-graded this as a 7. It could get an 8. I think it's like a pretty 50-50 shot, 7 or 8. So a pretty nice card. Next, we have a Fossil Dragonite. Really nice card. Probably the best card from Fossil. Dog hairs everywhere. I think there was a little bit of silvering on the front. The hollow looks pretty good. It's hard to tell through the card saver, but there are a couple scratches on the hollow, and we got a little whitening there, and a pretty hefty nick there in the bottom left corner, and a little bit of whitening there. So same deal. Probably a 7. I'd say more of a chance at a 7, maybe like a 60-40 7 chance to maybe getting an 8. But that one I would probably grade as a 7. Lastly, for my friend, he had pulled a Celebrations Mew. And this one looks nice, well centered. It is a little bit off left to right, but I think it is within the 10 parameters. When I was looking at it before, didn't see anything wrong, and I still really don't see any reason to expect. I don't think that's a dot on the card. Let's check that real quick. But I don't really see any reason to expect less than a 10 on this one. Don't want to accidentally damage his card. Oh, there may actually be a little white dye. What? Nope, that went away. Okay, great. So this one, same deal. Probably a 10. I pre-graded this as a 10. And I feel, you never know. There could be some surface imperfection I'm missing, but I feel relatively confident that that will get a 10. Okay, moving into the cards that I am submitting. So first we have this Entei Rainbow. I probably overbid on this, to be completely honest. It really looked clean, really looked like a nice 10 candidate. It still is a 10 candidate. It looks really nice on the front, but the back centering is not perfect, and there's a little white nick, I think, right there. Very small though, so I do still hope for a 10, but it is not a guarantee by any means. Next up, the next, I guess, whatever I've got left, 17, 18 cards are all from the same collection that I purchased. I spent around $760 on this collection, and I have already made back roughly like $500 of the collection, selling some of the graded cards that were from the collection, and some singles that were not really worth grading. I still have some larger lots to sell. I will roughly probably get right back up to that $760 before I submit this. So that's awesome. That means minus grading fees, this submission will be all, more or less the profit from that collection, which is a great spot to be in. So first off, we have the Swampert EX. This one looks great on the front, right? I mean, there's not really any hollow scratching. It's really like not really much silvering or anything. No dents or bends. But then the back is pretty rough. We've got a good amount of whitening on all sides. So I'm curious what this card will get. This is almost like an experiment. I'd say that this card will probably get a 6, but you never know. Maybe it'll get a 7 because of how clean it is on the front. Next one is probably the biggest one from the submission. I should have left this for last. Very well centered, very nice copy of the Charizard V alternate art from, I think, Starbirth is the Japanese set, but the Brilliant Stars equivalent. There is this print line. So I've seen 10s that have this print line. It seems to be on most of these cards. So I don't know if because it's such a common defect, PSA will overlook it. There is another print line up there too. My guess is that they will not, and this will get a 9. I'm okay with that, but there is a chance for the 10. The card is otherwise very clean, as with most Japanese modern cards. So yeah, really hoping for a 10, but expecting a 9. Most of these other cards, we're going to be hoping for 10s. They're very clean Japanese cards. And I just, usually when you have clean modern Japanese cards, they're going to get a 10. The quality control for Japanese cards is really good. This card looks great. I think it's the light playing off the card. I didn't notice any issues with any of these cards. So 2 of the workers, Japanese full art trainers do really well. This one's not a super popular one. It is a female full art trainer, which those always seem to do better for whatever reason. And yeah, so you never know. This card could go up by the time I get the submission back. That trend could like completely crash, and these cards could be worth essentially nothing. But I'm hoping they both get 10s, and I would probably sell them around $50 to $60 each. So the next one up is a Blastoise and Piplup team-up card. These tag team cards, I love. I just think they're so cool. I mean, like this is essentially the rarity level of a regular V, but it's just a really clean, cool card with I love the idea of Pokemon, kind of fighting together. I think that's kind of cool. It was a cool card idea. And it's got Blastoise on it, so setting this one in. Probably not a high value card in a 10, but it's very clean. Next up, Mewtwo and Mew GX. This was a great promo card. I think it came in a 10. Man, what an amazing promo to just come in a 10. Like, it's a full textured card with Mewtwo and Mew and a tag team. Like, this is an amazing card. So if I'm doing well in the collection, I do intend to probably keep this card. This one probably could get a 9. It's clean on the front, but I think, yeah, the centering on the back, top, bottom is off. So, it could get a 9 because of that back centering. Back centering doesn't usually matter too much, but, it could bring the card down. And the front centering, yeah, left to right is off as well. So, yeah, it's probably going to get a 9. But, I'm hopeful for a 10, and it's a cool card regardless. It'll probably stay in my collection. Next up, we got Charizard and, oh god, Braixen maybe? I think this is the Braixen. It's a Sun and Moon. I'm not super familiar with all the Pokemon, but another really clean card, similar to the Blastoise and Piplup, so I won't repeat myself too much. Expect a 10, probably $50 to $60 card. We've got 2 of these. We'll do them at the same time. Radiant Charizards. They both look really nice. Centering is good. I think this one top bottom may be a little off, but hoping for 10s for both of these. These have really crashed in value, but in a 10, I would imagine I could still at least sell these for $40, hopefully $50, $60. They're cool cards, regardless of price. Then we've got this is the Zamazenta V full art from V-Star Universe. V-Star Universe in general has really crashed in price, which is a bummer because the cards are really beautiful, but I mean, Pokemon is printing to demand, which makes sense, and people really stonked the hell out of the set. So a little bit of a price crash is not surprising, but I still think they're really beautiful cards, and that one's 10 worthy, so gonna grade it. Same with the Zeraora V-Star. Same thing, I'm not gonna repeat myself, but another really cool card. All right, so now we've got some vintage for me. I think that Swampert was supposed to be back here too, but This Gengar is actually really clean, but it does have a little bit of stain. I am going to try to get that stain off before I submit. It's not a perfect card. You know, there's some definite like whitening here and there, but it's a very clean card which is really just dampened by that stain. So I'm hopeful that if I could get that stain off, and you can't even really make it out, but it's up in this area. If I can get that off, it will be a solid like 8 candidate. If I can't, it's probably like a 6. But we'll see. You know, we'll see what it grades. Poliwrath. This one just looked really nice. It's, you know, Base Set Unlimited Poliwrath is not a high value card, but you know, I probably could sell this raw and probably make about the same amount of money. I needed to fill out the submission originally before my friend had some cards he needed to get graded. And this one just barely makes the cut. I think it could get an 8, which is why it would make the cut. I'd make a little extra money if it would hit an 8. Basically, all the same things are going to apply to this first edition Dark Hypno. Not a high value card, but you know, definitely a potential 8. There is a little bit more whitening on this one, so this one might be a 7. I think even in a 7, I think I would have made a little bit more money than if I would sell a raw light played copy of that card, which I would probably sell that for like $5 or $10. So we're talking very low profit margin on those cards. Same thing, Snorlax V. This card in a 10 would command a little bit of a premium over just a raw near mint copy. Looking at it now, like the back centering is actually better than the front. We've got some left to right centering issues. I still think it's within a 10 parameter. I'll probably still send it off. This one will probably be a mistake, but you know, it is what it is. Mewtwo GX. This one, awesome card, Shining Mewtwo. I've like impromptu kind of created my own little Mewtwo collection. I'll probably sell this card, but it is a really nice card. And this one is really well centered on the front, so I feel pretty good about its 10 chances. Anti-V from Crown Zenith. I always forget the name of that set, even though it just came out. Crown Zenith, very good set. This is a well-centered Entei-V. I mean, Entei is a legendary dog. This card should sell for $50-$60 in a 10. I feel pretty confident in its 10 chances. And so that's it. That's my whole submission. I believe there was 21 cards, which means this Snorlax V may actually get kicked out now that I have made the 20 card minimum, just because, I don't know, it's not a high value card. I may just sell it for $5 raw and move on from it. But otherwise, that's what I'm going to be sending off. I'm pretty happy with the submission. I'm hopeful that I'll hit a lot of 10s. Obviously, like, kind of, you never want to bank on 10s, but with the Japanese stuff especially, there's a much higher chance of hitting them. And so I feel that grading, you know, with the profit margin only being in a 10 is worth it for some of those Japanese cards, and some English if they're really clean. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully I'll be getting the last submission, my late March. I sent off some cards. Hopefully I'll be getting that back soon. It's still in the grading phase, so still waiting on that, but I'll do a video on that when that comes in. And then I'll have a separate video for Star Wars fans. I've got a Star Wars submission that will be going out in this next week as well. So I'll be doing that and a couple opening videos. So thanks guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.